Ever wondered what makes a car worth more than a mansion? Welcome to the electrifying world of automotive collecting, where steel and dreams collide in a spectacular dance of passion and precision. What if a car could be more than just a way to get from point A to point B? What if it could be a living, breathing piece of history? These aren't just machines, they're time machines. Imagine vehicles so rare, so perfectly crafted, that collectors would empty their bank accounts just to own a piece of automotive magic. Get ready for a journey that will rev up your imagination and challenge everything you thought you knew about cars. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. Standing alone at the pinnacle of automotive auction history is a vehicle that transcends ordinary superlatives. The 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe commanded an astonishing $142 million at auction, a figure so vast it rewrites the very definition of automotive value. To put this sum in perspective, it could purchase a fleet of modern hypercars, a private island, or even a modest aerospace company. Yet collectors deemed a single Mercedes worth every penny. What makes this silver arrow so precious? Born in the golden era of racing, this wasn't merely a car but a technological marvel that represented the absolute pinnacle of post-war German engineering. Conceived in 1955 as a prototype destined for the treacherous Carrera Panamericana race, which was ultimately cancelled following the tragic Le Mans disaster, where a Mercedes 300 SLR was involved in an accident that claimed 83 lives, this masterpiece represents the absolute peak of Mercedes engineering prowess during a transformative era. The 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe emerged from the ashes of that tragedy as something more contemplative, a road-going version of what might have been the most dominant race car of its generation. Mercedes racing director Rudolf Uhlenhaut envisioned it as the ultimate grand tourer, capable of whisking passengers from Stuttgart to Milan in record time, all while cosseted in relative luxury. Only 2 examples were ever crafted, making it among the rarest vehicles on Earth. With its distinctive gull-wing doors that seemed to reach toward the heavens, lightweight aluminum body, and a straight 8 engine capable of propelling it to 180 miles per hour, it wasn't just fast for its time, it was revolutionary. The 3.0-liter engine produced 302 horsepower, an almost unthinkable figure for the mid-1950s, and was essentially a slightly detuned version of the W196 Formula One racing engine. The attention to detail was obsessive. The aluminum body was hand-formed using techniques borrowed from aircraft manufacturing. The interior, while Spartan by luxury standards, featured perfect ergonomics and ingenious solutions to problems other manufacturers hadn't even identified yet. Its tubular space frame chassis provided both incredible rigidity and relatively low weight, creating handling dynamics decades ahead of contemporary rivals. The Uhlenhaut Coupe's legacy extends beyond its performance credentials. Named after Rudolf Uhlenhaut, Mercedes' brilliant chief engineer who drove one as his personal vehicle, the car represents a moment when automotive technology touched perfection. Legends persist of Uhlenhaut driving from Stuttgart to Munich for morning meetings, completing in 2 hours a journey that normally required 4, a proof to both the car's capabilities and the engineer's skill. Perhaps most remarkable is the purpose behind its record-shattering sale. The entire $142 million was directed to establish the Mercedes-Benz Fund, a global scholarship program supporting young innovators working towards sustainable mobility solutions. In this way, proceeds from one of history's most significant internal combustion vehicles now fuel the development of technologies that may ultimately replace the very engine that made the 300 SLR legendary. In one magnificent transaction, this automotive unicorn connected the golden age of motorsport to our sustainable future, cementing its status as more than just a car, but a bridge between eras, between technologies, and between generations of automotive visionaries. The Ferrari legacy. No exploration of collectible cars would be complete without diving deep into the crimson world of Ferrari, a brand that has consistently captured the hearts, imaginations, and wallets of collectors worldwide. The prancing horse emblem represents more than just an automotive manufacturer. It symbolizes a relentless pursuit of perfection that spans decades of racing glory and technological innovation. The Ferrari 250 GTO. If there's one car that represents the absolute pinnacle of Ferrari's road and racing heritage, it's the 250 GTO. The production was tantalizingly limited. Just 36 examples were ever built between 1962 and 1964. Each car is a masterpiece, a street-legal racing machine powered by a symphonic 3.0-liter V12 engine that seems to defy the very laws of mechanical engineering. The GTO, which stands for Gran Turismo Omologado, was designed specifically to dominate the FIA's Group 3 Grand Touring Car category, and dominate it did, securing Ferrari's position as a motorsport legend. The auction history of the 250 GTO reads like a chronicle of ever-escalating desire and value. In 2014, the automotive world watched in awe as one example sold for $38.1 million, a record-shattering price at the time that confirmed what collectors had long suspected. The 250 GTO had transitioned from merely an exceptional automobile to a blue-chip investment that outperformed most traditional asset classes. 4 years later, in 2018, another example demolished that record, selling for an astounding $48.44 million at RM Sotheby's Monterey auction, setting a new benchmark for publicly sold automobiles. The car that commanded this princely sum was particularly special, carrying chassis number 3413GT. It was the third car produced in the GTO lineage and remained overwhelmingly original, retaining over 95% of its original parts, a rarity in the world of vintage racing machines that often endured hard lives on the circuit. For collectors, such preservation is the equivalent of discovering the Holy Grail in an archaeological dig. It represents not just the object itself, but the authentic connection to a glorious past kept intact through careful stewardship. Ferrari's racing legends. Ferrari's auction dominance extends far beyond the 250 GTO, with numerous models commanding prices that reflect their historical significance and racing pedigree. The 1967 Ferrari 412P Berlinetta stands as a testament to Ferrari's racing DNA. A prototype of extraordinary rarity, only 2 examples were ever constructed to customer specifications based on the factory's P34 racing program. These machines represented Ferrari's World Championship-winning legacy in the most tangible form possible. Even when this particular example fell short of some price expectations at auction, it still commanded a significant sum that spoke to its incredible heritage and place in the Ferrari pantheon. The 1957 Ferrari 335S stands as a crowning achievement in Ferrari's racing heritage. This masterpiece of Italian engineering propelled Ferrari to claim the Constructors' World Championship in 1957, forever establishing the company's dominance in motorsport competition. With its powerful V12 engine and sleek, purpose-built design, the 335S represented the perfect marriage of power, handling, and aerodynamic efficiency. What elevates this particular Ferrari to legendary status is its distinguished racing pedigree. The car was piloted by some of the most celebrated names in racing history, including Peter Collins and Wolfgang von Trips, creating a provenance that reads like motorsport's royal lineage. When this rare machine crossed the auction block, it commanded an extraordinary $35.7 million, a figure that speaks not merely to its mechanical excellence, but to its pivotal role in shaping racing history during motorsport's most dangerous and romantic era. The 1955 Ferrari 410 Sports Spider tells an equally compelling but distinctly American racing tale. This Ferrari found its greatest champion in Carroll Shelby, the racing icon who would later revolutionize American performance cars with his Shelby Cobra. Under Shelby's masterful driving, this ferocious V12-powered machine claimed 11 victories and reached the podium 19 times between 1956 and 1958. Shelby's profound connection to the car and its impressive racing record make the 410 Sports Spider not just a Ferrari, but a crucial chapter in American motorsport history. Shelby's connection to the car was so profound that he allegedly once wrote on its fuel tank, "Mr. Ferrari told me that this car would win the Cuban Grand Prix, and I did. Carroll Shelby." This personal touch, combined with its impressive racing record, helped the 410 Sports Spider achieve a $22 million price tag, a testament to how racing provenance and legendary driver connections can elevate a car from merely valuable to genuinely priceless in the eyes of collectors. The 1954 Mercedes-Benz W196 represents the absolute zenith of racing engineering. Driven by legendary pilots Juan Manuel Fangio and Sir Stirling Moss, this car was nothing short of a racing machine. Its statistics are amazing. 9 wins out of 12 races entered, 2 world championships. The only example not held in a factory or museum collection sold for $29.6 million, a price that barely captures its true historical value. Aston Martin proves that racing heritage comes in many forms. The DBR1 Roadster, specifically the first of 4 built, sold for $22.5 million. Its claim to fame? It was the car Sir Stirling Moss drove to a legendary come-from-behind victory at the Nürburgring 1,000-kilometer race in 1959, a moment that has become the stuff of racing folklore. Even American manufacturers have their auction superstars. The 1935 Duesenberg model SSJ convertible, crafted specifically for Hollywood icon Gary Cooper, sold for $22 million at Pebble Beach. Only 2 were ever built, with the other going to Clark Gable, who reportedly used it to race Cooper. It's a slice of Hollywood and automotive history rolled into one magnificent machine. The world of collectible cars isn't trapped in the past. Modern supercars are quickly becoming the blue-chip investments of the automotive world. McLaren F1, a 1990s engineering marvel. The McLaren F1 stands as the perfect embodiment of automotive perfection achieved through singular vision and uncompromising standards. Designed by Gordon Murray, a man whose engineering brilliance had already revolutionized Formula One racing, the F1 represented something unprecedented in the automotive world when it debuted in 1992. Unlike most supercars developed by committee and compromised by marketing departments, the F1 was Murray's pure vision brought to life with virtually no concessions to practicality or cost. This engineering masterpiece features a central driving position flanked by 2 passenger seats, creating a cockpit experience reminiscent of fighter jets. Its naturally aspirated 6.1-liter BMW V12 engine produced 618 horsepower without the aid of turbochargers or superchargers, a remarkable feat for the early 1990s. The attention to detail was obsessive, from the gold foil lining the engine bay for optimal heat reflection to the custom-made Kenwood stereo system. The F1's production run was deliberately limited to just 106 examples, with only 64 configured as road-legal vehicles. This extreme rarity, combined with its groundbreaking performance, it held the production car's speed record of 240 miles per hour for 7 years, has created a perfect storm for collectors. When an example with just 242 miles on the odometer sold for over $20 million, it represented not just the purchase of a vehicle, but the acquisition of perhaps the most significant automotive engineering achievement of its era. Understanding why someone would pay such an astronomical sum for a car requires exploring the psychology behind automotive collecting. This passion transcends simple materialism and enters the realm of preservation, appreciation, and connection to history. For serious collectors, vehicles like the McLaren F1 represent historical preservation in its most dynamic form. Unlike artifacts in museums, these cars maintain their functionality. They are living, breathing time capsules that preserve technological innovations of their era. When a collector maintains or restores such a vehicle, they're not simply keeping a car running. They're preserving specific engineering solutions, materials, and manufacturing techniques that tell stories about human ingenuity at pivotal moments in automotive history. The artistic dimension cannot be overlooked. These machines are rolling sculptures that capture the aesthetic and technological spirit of their time. The McLaren F1's sleek, purposeful design represented a perfect marriage of form and function. Nothing was superfluous, yet everything was beautiful. This combination of artistic expression and engineering excellence creates an emotional connection that transcends the vehicle's utilitarian purpose. For many collectors, the competitive legacy these machines carry adds another layer of appeal. While the McLaren F1 wasn't designed primarily as a race car, its racing variant dominated the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans, finishing first, third, fourth, and fifth overall, an extraordinary achievement for a production-based car competing against purpose-built prototypes. Owning such a car means possessing a direct connection to those triumphs and the drivers who achieved them. The investment aspect provides a practical justification for these purchases. Unlike ordinary cars that depreciate rapidly, vehicles of this caliber often appreciate significantly in value. The McLaren F1 has appreciated more than almost any other modern vehicle, with examples now selling for 20 times their original price. This combination of passion with financial prudence makes collecting rare automobiles uniquely appealing. Few other investments provide both emotional satisfaction and potential financial returns. In essence, the $20 million McLaren F1 represents the intersection of engineering brilliance, artistic expression, historical significance, and financial wisdom. A perfect storm of factors that makes it irresistible to those with the means to acquire automotive perfection. As we look forward, the market for collectible automobiles continues to evolve in fascinating ways. The $142 million Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR sale isn't merely a transaction. It's a profound statement about the growing global appreciation for automotive heritage in all its forms. Today's collectors increasingly view these machines through multiple lenses simultaneously, as investment vehicles that often outperform traditional markets, as irreplaceable historical artifacts connecting us to pivotal moments in transportation history, as movable art installations worthy of the finest museums, and as technological time capsules preserving engineering solutions from eras before computer-aided design. This multifaceted appreciation continues to drive the market's expansion, suggesting that automotive collecting's golden age may still lie ahead. From the sleek lines of the Ferrari 250 GTO to the silver speed of the Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR, these automobiles represent something far greater than mechanical achievement. They are proof to human creativity, engineering prowess, and an unquenchable passion for pushing boundaries. As electric vehicles begin to dominate our roads and autonomous technology reshapes transportation, these auction kings remind us of an era when driving was an art form. They speak to our collective fascination with speed, design, and the relentless human pursuit of perfection. So the next time you see a classic car, remember, you're not just looking at a vehicle. You're witnessing a piece of history, a work of art, and a machine that someone deemed valuable enough to invest millions to preserve. Passion, it seems, truly knows no price tag. Which of these incredible machines captured your imagination? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of automotive legends.